Good morning, everyone. So, we had already started the unit number 3. So, in that, we will try to discuss the most important topic which will be related to the transport layer services. You know that whenever any user want to use any application at that time, most of the protocols, most of the OSI layer will be working in behind that to successfully run that application as on the user point of view. So these services, this protocol, we discuss in each and every unit one by one as per the OSI layers. So these are transport protocol which will be available in the transport layer and services, that is the TCP and UDP. Basically, these protocols have the uh, play a very important role at the time of data communication by using the transport layer services. So in this video, we will try to discuss more and more about what do you mean by the user datagram protocols, what is mean by the transmission control protocol, how it will be reliable, how it will be set up the particular connections, and many more contents which will be related to the particular TCP and UDP. So these are some points we are going to discuss about the uh, TCP and UDP. That is, we had discussed already about the what is meant by the multiplexing and demultiplexing in the previous video. Now detecting correction, reliable data and flow control, that is the most important part related to the transport layer services, because whenever the data will be sent over the network, at that time the data transmission rate and the sending data transmission rate must be uh, compare, because there is a chances that your data may get uh, jam in the traffic in the networks. So to avoid such kind of a thing, you maintain the properly flow control. That is the mechanism for the transport layer protocols. As you know that the roles of a transport layer protocol is that to help application layer, also to taking the help from the network layers also, because transport layer is a communication between the process to process. As you know that node to node communication is a network layer, and process to process communication that will be happen in the transport layer. It relies on the network layer and serve the application layers. Means it will be taking the input, or it will be rely on the network layer, and it will be support, or it will be serve the information to the particular application layer. So by using the TCP and the UDP, that means that the application layer have the communication for a specific kind of a application by using the various kind of a protocols, that is the HTTP protocol, file transfer protocol, then the NNTP protocol, HTTP protocol, and many more protocols that will be used by the application layer to run the particular application properly. Network layer will provide a logical communication between the nodes, that is node to node communication that will be happen in the network layer. It will provide the internet kind of IP addresses to the particular services, so that your data, your packet must be reached at the particular destination. So transport protocol provide a logical communication between application processes and running on different hosts, that we had discussed in this diagram also in the previous videos of a transport layer, that all the particular transport layer from the different devices that get logically communicated with each other, that it will be logically connected with each other to send and receive the particular data. Sender breaks the application messages into segments and phases to the network layer. And we know that that data, that information which you want to send over the network, that will be get break down into number of segment, number of frame, or number of packets. Receiver reassembles that segments into messages, passes to the application layer. At the receiving side, that packet, because every packet, every segments have the header number, destination port number, then the sequence number also available there. So that data, that packet will be traveled from the particular networks, and that will be may reach at the particular destinations. All the packet, it is not important that that will be reached in the sequencing order, because all the packets, all the frames may choose a different path to reach at the particular destinations. So that packet will be reassembled at the receiving side by using the proper sequence number available on that particular packets. So these are the particular type of services which will be available at in the particular communications. So for that, multiple transport protocol available to the particular applications. To run that particular applications over the user side, the TCP and the UDP, these kind of protocols which will be used to run that particular applications. These are the protocols by using the transport layer services. So datagram messaging services, that is the UDP, and a reliable in order delivery, that is the TCP. User datagram protocol is a protocol which is a connection less, and that will be not guaranteed that your data, maybe reliable data services, we can say that reliable data services or delivery of data in order, that will be not sure about the user datagram protocol. No frills extensions of a best effort internet protocols. Reliable in order delivery, that is the TCP, will first of all set up the connections between the two hosts, that is the host A or host B want to communicate with each other at that time. If you are going to use the TCP, at that time, first of all, they try to set up the connection between them. After that, so first of all, connection will be set up between them. After that, the data will be transferred and all the things that will be part of the another. So discarding of a corrupted packets. It may happen that after set up a connection, when you have to send the data over network by using the TCP, so there is no guarantee that your data may not get corrupted, because in networks most of the, we can say that activity will be happen, some noises will be happen, some kind of a thing will be happen. Because of that, your data may get lost, your packet may get lost, your packet may get corrupted also. So such kind of a packet may get discarded, because that packet wrong data not reach at the particular destinations. Retransmission of lost packets. If packet is lost during the networks, traveling through the networks, it may be, if it get lost, at that time the sender again retransmit the same packet over the network, because he didn't get the acknowledgement from the receiver that that packet may get reach at the particular destination site. So if he didn't get any kind of acknowledgement, so he again retransmit the same packet over the network. So this type of understanding, this type of communication will be take between the sender and the receiver whenever we want to fetch any kind of application, we want to run any kind of application on your particular by using internet on your particular mobile. Flow control, we had already discussed about that flow control is the rate of data sending and rate of data transmission must be matched, because your transmission rate is required higher than the sender, because at the receiving side it may happen that there will be, maybe the buffer will be available, but if you are going to send the data packets over the network in a multiple manner, at that time it may happen that buffer may get full, and your packet may get jam, or your packet may get congested over the particular network. So congestion will be occurred during that particular communication. To avoid such kind of a congestion, we need a particular type of a flow control mechanism. TCP will provide such kind of a activity. So TCP provides such kind of a facility of a flow control. Because of that, it will properly sending each and every packets over the network after getting the acknowledgement, and because of that your packet may travel through the network properly, and there is no chances of a traffic jam or no chances of a congestion control over the network by using a transmission control protocol. Congestion control, that we had discussed previously in the previous video also, previous lecture also, congestion control, how it will be congestion control occurred, how it will be removed. So this type of services will be provided by the particular internet transport protocol. Delay guarantee and bandwidth guarantee, that will be the other services, that will be part of the other services. We had also discussed about the multiplexing and the demultiplexing concept, that key whenever these are the TCP UDP segment format for the particular data packets. So host receives the IP datagrams. Each datagram has a source and destination IP addresses, as we had know already about that key. Each datagram carries one transport layer segments. Each segment has a source and destination port number, because each and every segment that will be available over the network that may contain the source port number and a destination port number, that will be have the 32 bits, then the header fields, then the application data messages which you want to send. So this kind of information must be available and the segment, so TCP of UDP. Host uses IP addresses and a port number to direct the segment to appropriate socket. So which data need to send to which socket? By using IP addresses and port number available on that particular segment, by using that numbers, your proper data may get properly sending the appropriate socket, so that you will get in your particular data. These are the concept of a multiplexing and demultiplexings. Now we are moving toward the user datagram protocol. It is an unreliable message delivery service. Unreliable means there is a no guarantee, that is a no reliable data services provided by the user datagram protocols. User datagram protocol basically the lightweight communication between the processes. So to avoid overhead and delays of a order and a reliable delivery, we are going to use the user datagram protocols. It is a connection less, means to avoid the delay means what? Because by using a TCP, you need to first of all set up the connections. By getting the acknowledgement from the receiver, you are going to set up the particular connection between the sender and the receiver. So it may take some time to set up the connection between them. After that, you are going to send the particular data over the networks from host to host. So this delay may get overcome by using the UDP. It avoids overhead and delays of a order. Send messages to and receive from them from the particular socket. UDP is a internet protocol plus port numbers to support demultiplexing and multiplexing. That you had know that key UDP will use the same that key in the port numbers, and the other that by using that they will try to use for the multiplexing and demultiplexing. Optional error checking on the packet contents. So it may happen that key if packets may get corrupted, if a packet may get required some error connections, means error will be occurred in that particular data. So it may use the some optional kind of error checking method by using UDP, because at the receiving side it may happen that key if he find out that key data may get corrupted, data may get contain some errors. To avoid such kind of a thing, the error kind of a checking will be done in the UDP. Why would anyone use the UDP if he will not provide the guarantee, if he is unreliable data services provided by the UDP? So what is the reason behind that UDP will be used by the most of the most of the times? So it is a final control over what data is sent and when. So when any application processes writes into the sockets, so UDP will provide a packages the data and send the packets over the particular applications. It will no delay for connection establishment. So it will provide a final control over the data is sent and when to data send and which data send, that must be come under the particular UDP. So UDP will provide the particular packages, the data that will be sent over the particular networks. No delay for the connection establishment. UDP just blast away without any formal preliminaries, which avoid introducing any unnecessary delays. Means there is no need to set up the connection between the particular host to host, and because of that it will blast away without any formal preliminaries. They are not going to hand checking before the data transferring. So because of that, you will be getting, there is no need to introduction with each other by using the UDP. No connection state. So no allocation of buffers, parameters, sequence number will be required by the UDP, making it easier to handle many active clients at once. Means UDP will have the capability to handle the multiple clients at the same time, and it will not require that the connection state, that is your buffer will be get free, your parameter will be required, such kind of a thing for getting the particular information on the applications. So sequence number will be required. So these kind of parameters must not be required by the UDP. So it will easily handle the multiple type of you can say that the clients at the same time. So because of that, UDP will be used by the most of the times. Small packet header overhead. UDP header is only 8 bytes long. So header information will be available on the particular packet that will be contain 8 bytes only. So these are the some popular applications that uses the user datagram protocol. Whenever you want to stream any kind of a multimedia on your application, at that time user datagram protocol will be working behind that. So multimedia streaming is the example, and simple query protocol like domain name systems means whenever you want to get your browse something, that is we had discussed about that domain name system earlier, that key whenever you are going to type any particular URL in your particular browser, at that time you will be getting your particular browser may get converted into the particular port numbers, that is IP address. We had discussed about that. So that will be part of the UDP. So multimedia streaming means what? Retransmitting lost corrupted packets is not worthwhile. By the time the packet is retransmitted, it's too late. So telephone calls, video conferencing, and gaming are uses the user datagram protocols. Means it may happen that if your packet may get corrupted, if your packet may get lost, at that time you need to retransmit again same data over the network. So because of that, duplicate data, duplicate content, or we can select duplicate information may get get received at the particular site. So it will be take some time also to reach at the particular destinations. It will be may get delays also. So packet again we want to transmit it, so it will be get too late. So for that they are trying to use, for multimedia streaming they are trying to use the UDP. Example here, that telephone calls, video conferencing, and it is that is the if you are going to go for the WhatsApp calls also, and a video call also, or video conferencing also, at that time you need a proper streaming without delay, or we can say that without corruption. So at that time such kind of a video conferencing, video streaming, and all the thing, at the time they are going to use the user datagram protocol, because it will provide the high level data services. Simple query protocol like domain name system, overhead of a connections establishment is overkill. Easier to have application retransmit if needed. So if you are getting typing the something address in the URL, at that time address bar, at that time you will be get converted into the particular numbers, so that you will be getting the information from that particular server. So these are the part of the simple query protocol that will be using under the user datagram protocols. Then we are moving toward the transmission control protocol. It is a connection oriented, that is UDP is a connection less, and transmission control protocol, that is the connection oriented. Explicit setup and tear down of a TCP session means, first of all we need to set up the particular connections, we need to maintain the particular sessions whenever you are going for the TCP. Stream of bytes services, send and receive a stream of bytes, not the messages. Reliable in order delivery. So what do you mean by the order guarantee? What is the reliable data guarantee, and all the things that we had heard most of the time in the word. So checksum to detect the corrupted data. In a TCP, there is a method or algorithm, you can say that in our words, that will be uses the particular checksum method. By using that checksum, they are trying to identify the corrupted data at the receiving side also. And if your data get corrupted, then again the packet will be retransmitted. So such kind of activity will be done by using the TCP. Acknowledgements and retransmission for reliable delivery. So in TCP, what will happen that whenever you want to communicate, send each and every packet, at that time you are getting the acknowledgement from the particular side that key your packet may get reach, send another packets. So this kind of acknowledgement and the retransmission will be done. If your data get corrupted, then also you will be getting some kind of acknowledgement that key data may not get properly, or you may not get the particular acknowledgement because because of that your sender again sends retransmit the particular packets over the networks. So this will provide the reliable guarantee or reliable delivery of the data. Sequence numbers to detect the losses and reordered data. So each and every packets they are going to provide the sequence number that will be not available in the UDP. So sequence number will be for the which packet will be getting lost. We will identify easily, and you can again same retransmit same packets if it will be getting lost, and it will also be helpful at the receiving side to reassemble the particular data properly. So this kind of a reliable in order delivery will be provided by the TCP. Flow control, we had that discussed, prevent overflow of the receiver's buffer space. Already buffer will be available at receiving side to buffer the data, and if that data buffer space unfortunately get packed at that time, so traffic will be jammed in the networks. So to avoid such kind of activity, flow control mechanism will be available using the TCP. Congestion control, adapt to network congestion for the greater good. So congestion control mechanism also available there to do those particular things. So we are going to take one example regarding the talking on a cell phone by using the particular protocols. If Alice and Bob on their cell phones, so if they want to talk with each other at that time by using their phones, both Alice and Bob are talking. What if Alice couldn't understand Bob? Bob asked Alice to repeat the she or said. What if Bob hasn't heard Alice for a while? Is Alice just being quiet, or have Bob and Alice lost receptions? How long should Bob just keep on talking? Maybe Alice should periodically say means by the acknowledgement properly given, or Bob should ask, "Can you hear me now?" तो कभी भी क्या होता है, लास्ट टाइम वी हैड आल्सो डिस्कस दैट कि व्हेनेवर वी वांट टू talking on the phones, or maybe connected to the particular Zoom app also. At that time it may happen that the particular person host may get talking simultaneously, may get talking continuously, and unfortunately connection may get lost. In previous lecture also we had finding out such kind of a situation कि our connection may get lost, and I don't know when it will be lost. I am just talking continuously. After some time I remember that time is out, maybe because it will be getting the 30 to 40% over. Unfortunately, whenever I have gone through the particular phone, that time I understand that other connection is lost. So again, such kind of a situation may be occurred. So if such situation may occur, if there is a congestion in networks, if there is a, we can see that your particular receiver not getting your data properly, so it will be required that some acknowledgement will be required from the receiver. Your voice is not clear, your screen is not seen, your data what you are going to talking, we can't understand because of the network problems. We talk most of the time it will about that. So such kind of situation may be occurred. So for that it will be required that properly whenever you are going to discuss on the phone also for the long time, So a type of acknowledgement will be required by the receiver to the sender, that key you are talking and someone another person will be getting your information by proper acknowledgement. So these will be required. So this will be happen during the taking on the particular talking on the cell phones. So acknowledgement from the receiver, that is a positive OK, that is a ACK. If negative, that is a please repeat that particular sentences, or the NACK. Timeout by the sender. Don't wait indefinitely without receiving some response, whether a positive or negative acknowledgement, because some time session will be आपका जैसे कि Zoom में 40% time limit will be available there. So after 40 minutes your connection may get session may get out because your time is get out. So such kind of a thing will be occurred. Retransmission by the sender. After receiving the negative acknowledgement from the receiver, you need to provide again data over the network after receiving no feedback from the receiver for the long time also. So after that you again read transmission by the particular sender that content. So कभी भी ऐसा भी होता है कि whenever we are talking taking lecture on the Zoom and the connection may get lost and we are talking continuously, and after some time it will understand that ki connection is lost. Then again whenever you want to join same meeting on the same link again also, after some time we want to repeat such kind of a thing also, such kind of a topic also once again, because we not getting the proper feedback from at the time from your side for the long time, and after that it will understand that ki connection get lost from the most of the time. So when your connection get lost, you can't understand at the time, you need to repeat again and again all the things. So challenges will be available for the reliable data transfer, that key over a perfectly reliable channel means allow all of the data arrives in order just as it was sent. Means it may happen that key whenever you want to say that key your protocol may provide the reliable data services at that time, it may require that key your packets, your data segments must be received at the receiving side in the proper order. Means when you are going to send the packets in that manner in order, that same order will be followed at the receiving side. Simple sender send data and receiver receive the particular data over a channel with bits error. All of the data arrives in order, but some bits are corrupted. It may happen that. So receiver detects error and says, please repeat that particular data, and sender retransmit the data that were corrupted. अगर if you are getting such kind of services कि orderly data may get received, sending orderly may data get received at the receiving side. After that, if your data packet may get corrupted unfortunately, then you will be getting the acknowledgement from the receiver ki please repeat the packet, it may get corrupted, it may have the errors. Then again you are going to send the same packets over the network. So this kind of a handshaking and acknowledgement process will guarantee that ki your data transfer may get properly over the networks, and reliable data transfer services will be provided by the TCP over a lossy channel with bits error. Some data are missing and some bits are corrupted. Receiver detects error but cannot always detect the loss. So sender must wait for the acknowledgement and retransmit the data after some time if no acknowledgement arrives. Situation may occur that packet may get lost, or acknowledgement if packet will be reached at the destination side and acknowledgement will be provided by the receiver to the sender, your packet will be reached, but it may happen that acknowledgement may get also lost in the networks. So sender can't understand कि packet will be reached safely or not because he didn't get the acknowledgement, because acknowledgement is lost in the networks. So sender must wait for the acknowledgement for the some time. Meanwhile that time he will be we can say waiting for that particular acknowledgement. After that he again retransmit the particular data if he not getting the particular acknowledgement from the receivers. TCP support for reliable delivery, checksum method also used to detect corrupted data at the receivers, leading the receiver to drop the packets. If there is error will be occurred, so at the receiving side there is a checksum method, checksum algorithm, some algorithm will be used. Because of that, it will be identified by the particular receiver that the packet will corrupted or not, packet is error free or not. For that, checksum method will be available at the receiving side. Sequence numbers used to detect missing data and for putting the data back in order. So it may happen that you are providing the packets numbers or numbering, sequence numbering to the particular data over the network at that time. So in order to send the data over the network, that same time your data may get received in order also. But it may happen that if packet may choose a different path, and if they not reach in order at the receiving side, at that time, because of the sequence number, your packets, your data again get reassembled in a sequencing because of the sequence number available on that particular data packets. So that will help to identify the data in a proper order. Retransmission. Sender retransmit lost or corrupted data. Timeout based on estimate of a round trip time, RTT time. That is we are going to provide a particular timer for the sender and receiver data packet. Means whenever you want to send the particular packets over the network, at that time we will try to give a particular timer for that particular communications. If timer is out, unfortunately, and your packet may get reach at the particular side because of the timer out, or if you are not getting the particular acknowledgement from the receiver, so again you will need to retransmit your particular data. We call it as a round trip time, that is a RTT, fast retransmit algorithm for rapid retransmissions. So TCP segment that is containing the IP data, that is IP packet internet protocol packets that will be available there, that contain the TCP data segment. In the diagram you can see that how it will be available, how the TCP header which will be available, how the internet protocol header which will be available. So IP packet is no bigger than maximum transmission unit, that is the MTU, that is the length will be decided properly. Example, on the Ethernet, if you want to send data, the 1500 bytes on the required on the Ethernet, that is the IP packet data size. TCP packets. TCP packets, that is the IP packet with the TCP header and data inside. TCP header is typically a 20 bytes long. UDP data is 8 bytes and the TCP data is 20 bytes long. TCP segments, no more than maximum segment size, and example, that is 1460 consecutive bytes from the streams. So whenever you want to establish a TCP connection, at that time, if A and B want to communicate, at that time, three-way handshake to establish a particular connection by using a TCP. Host A send SYN, that is open, to the host B. Then host B returns a SYN acknowledgement, that is the SYN SEK, to the particular A, that is the connection may get open. Host A send acknowledgement that to the particular SYN SEK. So this is the TCP header format which will be available. In that TCP header format, source port number, destination port number which will be available already, that will be required. Sequence numbering which will be available in TCP, not in a UDP. Acknowledgement which will be required for the setup the particular connections and to getting the particular acknowledgement from the receiver. Header length, then flags, advertise window, sliding windows that will be available, that is the stop and wait protocol, GBN protocols and all things. Checksum method will be available here. Urgent pointer will be available here. Data will be available and optional field will be available. So this is the format for the TCP header. when A want to initialize the particular communication, at the time such kind of a activity will occur. That is A's port number, B's port number, that is source port number, destination port number, then A's initial sequence number which will be available if you want to communicate with the A and B. Then the acknowledgement will be not getting from the particular B's port because you are going to send the data to the B first of all. Then the header length will be available 20 bytes. Then the A tells B it want to open a particular connection. Means this is the format whenever A and B want to communicate and it want to send the SYN for the opening the connection between to communicate between them. At the time such kind of a header format will be available. B tells A it accept and it is ready to hear the next byte. Means the connection is accepted, connection is established between them. So B will be reply to the A that key your connection may get accepted, you can send the next byte. So at that time the header format or TCP segment will be available here, that key B's port, A's port. Here is the sequence will be changed because source port number and destination port number will be changed. B's initial sequence number, A's ISN plus 1, means here we are getting the acknowledgement from the B. In previous packet we can't get the acknowledgement because we are going to send data to open the connections. Here we are getting the acknowledgement from the receiving side to the A. 20 bytes, same kind of thing will be available. So upon receiving this packet, A can start the sending data over the network. Such kind of a header activity, such kind of a connection setup activity will be happen whenever you are going to use the transmission control protocol. So at time we had also seen the word about the automatic repeat request, ARQ, in the previous video lectures also. So automatic repeat request receiver send acknowledgement when it receives the particular packets. Sender waits for the acknowledgement and timeouts if it does not arrive with some time period. Means receiver must be provide the acknowledgement to knowing the particular sender that key your packet may get reach, your data may get reach about that particular thing. So reason for retransmission, what happened that key if you are not getting the acknowledgement, what happened your packet may get lost over the network. So which kind of reason will be available for the retransmission of data again by the sender. So packet may get lost when you want to send data packet to the B. At the time packet may get lost, at the time you need to send again packet and you will getting the acknowledgement that your packet may get reach. Acknowledgement is lost if you are sending a packet, it will be reach at the destination side, and destinations will also provide you the acknowledgement that your packet may get reach at the receiving side. But if acknowledgement will get lost, so again you need to send the packet once again because sender can't getting the acknowledgement from the receiver because it will be get lost, and again you will send same package, and after that reaching the packet safely, again we will getting the acknowledgement from the particular receiver. Timeout, it may happen that early timeout will be happen because if you delay in the networks, problem in the networks. So because of the timeout also you need to send the packet, duplicate packet will be available on the network. So this is about the what is exactly mean by the transmission control protocol and the user datagram protocol. So we had learned the two protocols, that is the unit number 3 by using transport layer services, under that TCP and UDP protocols. I hope you are getting the contents of TCP and UDP, what exactly mean by the UDP and TCP, and I hope you will be get clarified by this video. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we are near to finish our unit number 2. If 1-2 topics will be remaining, we are going to check that, and if it will be remaining, we will try to cover. Otherwise, we will start the new. If there is no remaining topic, then we will start the next unit in the next. We can see that key in a week. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.